冇歪。Hello. Okay, it's working. We are here, ladies and gentlemen. Very good. Thank you very much for coming back on time. A little bit late, actually. 1 minute. Well, first of all, thank you very much for coming again. And actually, anyway, let me tell you, they are not silent. They have been expecting me, for a very long time, because you are so expressive. So that's why, it seems like silent, actually it's expected, passionate. All right, my name is Johnson again. Now, as mentioned by Annie, let me give you a little bit introduction of myself, because I need to know who I am. Otherwise, you may think that, well, how come this guy could be qualified to be here, to talk to you for 15 minutes? No, nonsense. So I need you to know who I am. Now, I got my Human Resources Bachelor degree, well, back to, I don't know, a million years ago. And the first job I took, actually I was hired directly from the campus recruitment by one of the big six on those days. Today it's big fours, all right? I know, don't ask me what big fours are, please. Okay, you're master's students. And strictly, I get in as a human resources assistant. And for 3 consecutive years, I was promoted as an officer, HR officer, okay? And I was responsible for the campus recruitment in Hong Kong, UST, Hong Kong U, CU, and also in Peking U, those days, or Shanghai, Fudan Daxue, places like that. And after the first 3 years, I was, luckily invited by a client of that big four. Can I say the name actually while I'm doing it? Where is it? Okay, I'm from Ernst & Young, all right? And the client, of Ernst & Young hired me as assistant manager. At that time, I was only, 20-something. And I was only got, 3 years of experience in the HR profession. So then I become the assistant manager with the enterprise. The client of Ernst & Young, the clients of Ernst & Young, that company is a fashion trend retail store. Well, of course, stores. They have around 16 stores in Hong Kong, China, and Taiwan, Greater China. We had around 11,000 something, employees. And I was, again, responsible for recruitment. What they call recruitment at those days, today we call it talent acquisition. Well, it's a very sexy name, right? Did you see the movie? Well, it's, that star, I can't remember that one. Okay, the old star, talent acquisition, what was that? Well, actually, of course, it's recruitment again. Then I got back to Ernst & Young after another 3 years, because they want someone to help them in China to recruit, to do all this, campus recruitment talks like that, seminar like that, interviews like that, like this, all right? So actually today, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, do you think today could be an interview? Can you guess? I'm sure it is. Why? Well, okay, actually I do this many times already. And in some occasion, I got, very good impression on some, particular students. I don't know why. Maybe they are, active in the class, or maybe, they have very good smile. I don't know. But I have the impression. Then I will call up if I have, vacancy from my client, then I will, strictly think of that. I really get them a call and really want to, refer them to my client. I got some successful cases in the past, but not in UST. All right, I hope today I may have some, kinds of opportunity like that. Now, and then after, 9 years already, after getting back to Ernst & Young, then I think that, well, it's time for me to build up my own business. Then I set up a HR consultancy firm to, work or serve my clients. Because, when I was in Ernst & Young to be a recruitment manager, I think it's kind of boring. Every day then I interview people, refer to line managers, directors, partners. Well, but I got only my salary, nothing. Not only, salary, but nothing. Nothing incentive, bonus, no, nothing. Then I decided to create my own opportunity, business, to be a HR consultant. Well, say if, for example, if I got 3 cases closed in a month, how much do you think that I can earn? Well, I can tell you the market price for the job, and how we charge around 20 to 25 on the yearly income of the hired employed candidate. Therefore, if the candidate is worth $1 million a year, then the consultant can have around 200,000 for that case. If I can close 3, how much I can earn? If I can close 36 a year, how many I can have? You can do the math, all right? But of course, I'm not trying to go on, because after setting up the company, it's around 10, 15 years already. Now, who I am? Now I'm always be a guest speaker in the university, like this one today, to deliver talks, not only to students, but also sometimes I will deliver talks to bosses, because they need to know how to interview people. All right? Now, I want to see hands. Please, ladies first. Who are single? Please. Let me see your hands. Well, just a very few. All married? I'm sorry, guys. Thank you. Very few. Okay, I see hands. Okay, thank you very much. I think it's 20-something only. I don't know why. Well, I presume that you should, be single. Guys, who are single, please, let me see your hands. Very few. Wow. Okay, congratulations. Thank you very much for your hands. Why I'm trying to do this? Interview. Oh, wait, do you think the first time you have a date with a guy or a girl, do you think it's just simply a date, or it actually is an interview? If you have, now in Hong Kong, we like to have not babysitters, all right, what we call domestic helper. Yeah, but you are single, you are a mom, all right. You are a student, but you are, of course, also a mom. If you need to hire the domestic helper, do you need to interview them? Of course. But how can you tell who is better than the other? Who is suitable for you? Then you have to learn. This is not some kind of inborn ability. No, please. It is nothing like, well, it's a common sense. No, all right. Breathing is by nature, but interview, no. Please, you have to learn this. All right. Now, in my life, in my career, I find some of the seniors who influence affect me a lot, and touch me. They may not know they affect me so deep, but I want to be the one who can affect you, influence you very deep, even though maybe one day you don't remember my name, but you still remember what I teach you today. All right? Are you good with me? Please. Okay. Now I don't believe PowerPoint actually, but it's a protocol. All right? So then I need to use that. I'm 100% for sure. You won't flip them after this class. After leaving this room, you will flip them. You will read them again. All right, in the rest of my life, your life. So that I hope you can remember what I teach you today, what I tell you today. Interview is a lifetime technique that you have to grasp. No matter you are a student now, you are a boss in the in the future, or you are a billionaire. You must learn this skill and learn it well. All right? Okay, before interview. Now, know the company and the industry. Well, I think it's not a difficult task for you to grasp, because if you got a telephone, if you got your phone rang and then ask you to have an interview, you must Google the company. Well, this is something that I think important. You don't need me to teach you. But how? But what we're going to read? How are we going to know? Of course, you need to know what are the business they are doing. This is very crucial. And secondly, you may know the big names. And, are clients of mine. Very funny. I list the company. They usually, the interviewer always asks very few questions. The first questions he likes to ask, you know what, he's a listed company, he always likes to ask one question, and he will, decide whether the candidate can go on or not. Is, do you know the stock price of our company yesterday? Do you know what is the stock number of my company? Easy question, right? But I can assure you, only, I think 10% of the candidate can answer these questions because they are not well prepared, absent-minded. All right, too overconfident. All right, so this is what we have to learn. But of course, I think you won't need to know who the bosses are, but just know who the important people is. Now, the first important people that you have to know after receiving the call to invite you to attend the interview, who should be? The interviewer, right? But how can I know who the interviewer would be? You don't have the crystal ball. No, you don't. So how could we know who the interviewer would be? Well, normally, if you have the invitation, receive the invitation, what sort of invitation you will receive? I think it will be 2, maybe 3 today. Email, right? A phone call, or a WhatsApp. Yes, you're updated. Well, friendly. A WhatsApp invitation. So then, who will send you the invitation? Do you think the interviewer, maybe he is the HR director, manager, or the line manager, the boss, whoever, do you think they themselves will send you the information, the invitation? No. Who will be? Who will that be? Assistant, HR, receptionist, whoever, in the general level. Did you try? I think you should have already been invited before, for sure. But did you try to ask them? Well, hey, may I know, my name is Johnson. May I know your name again? Well, I don't think you know their name, but so ask. May I know your name again? Okay, this is Mary. I'm from Human Resources. Oh, hi, Mary. Thank you very much for the invitation. May I ask a little bit about the interview? Oh, yes, sure. Now, you may think I'm just, hey, Johnson, you're kidding. They are just junior person. How could they, answer, like that? No. They are always lazy, HR people are always lazy, you see, because they have power. Okay, now, can you imagine how many calls, how many invitations per day, every day, they will send out? I think, say for example, my assistants, they may send over 10 or even more every day to invite candidates to come. Maybe I'm the interviewer, maybe they are the interviewer. No, maybe underline managers. But if one of you, okay, someone like that, so willing to ask questions like what I just said, do you think they will answer? I'm sure they will. Why? Because you show your sincerity. All right, this is very important. Well, have you ever heard lots of senior person always emphasizing, well, what is the major element that you will see from a candidate in an interview? How would you select them? How would you choose the right candidate? They always tell you, oh, I will see the sincerity. Oh, I will see the attitude. But nobody seems to be like, well, chasing again, well, dig in a little bit more. What kind of attitude you're looking for? How can we feel that they actually have the attitude? How? That is the attitude. You do someone, they won't do it. You do something that a normal person won't do. Ask special questions. Ask someone you don't think they may be asked. You see what I mean? See my point, all right? So know the company and industry. Know the interviewers, as I mentioned already. Know what's on your resume. Of course, I think you should know what's on your resume. But, well, I was told by Annie that someone will teach you how to write your resume. I'm glad. But as a person, in the HR for, as I mentioned to you, over 20 decades, 2 decades, not 20, 20 years. It shows that you are still awake, not fishing, because you are still breathing and laughing. Good to me. Know your resume. Know what's on your resume. Now it means that what are the elements, the substance, particularly remarkable that you have to highlight. Well, this is what I meant, or whatever I mean. Know your resume, because, well, I think as a student like you, normally, but if we are at the same page, same class, I think more or less we are the same, right? Not all the same, but not too close, not too far away from each other. What I mean, in terms of your education level, in terms of your, working experiences. So then, you have to highlight what your strengths are, but of course, not only highlight generally, but highlight particularly. How? Particularly means highlight that kind of strength for that particular job that you are applying for. All right? Now I will further elaborate a little bit later on. Sorry. Know yourself. Prepare interview questions. Interview attire. Well, these are ABCs. Now, but I think know yourself. Well, I don't know how to tell you how to know yourself. But of course, you have to prepare well for the interviews. Now, let me tell you a live example. Why did I got the chance to be hired by Ernst & Young at that time? Well, actually, I got 20 classmates, 20 classmates in my class. They are, of course, as I mentioned to you, human resources major. When I read the advertisement posted on the canteen in the university, one of my classmates told me that, well, hey Johnson, this is Ernst & Young, and they are hiring an HR assistant. You should be, you should read it. Then I read it. Actually, that was the last day of the application. Then I submit my application the other day, or actually I was late. But I still got a chance to get the interview. After I got that interview invitation, of course I attend in suit, like something like today. But of course not that expensive, I'm sorry. And it's a very unusual. When I arrived in the office of the Ernst & Young HR office, I saw 2 classmates. Well, because I didn't expect, well, they would also be invited. I thought I was the only one, but actually not. But at this last round of interview, then I got a job. I won. Why? All because I prepared around 120 answers. It's amazing. How could I prepare 120 answers? Because I categorized the questions. I mean, they may be asked questions into 4 categories. One is regarding the company. The second is related to the job itself. The third one is about myself. And the fourth one should be, anything. And I prepared with every questions with one answer. So then I will have 40 in English. Okay, again, that 40 in Chinese, Mandarin. And that 40 again in Cantonese. So therefore I have 120 answers in my mind on that day. Then of course I run, all right? So that's what I tell you, sincerity and what? Attitude. You see my point, all right? So it all comes to attitude and sincerity. And this is something that you, of course, have to know. Preparing interview questions, well, this is typical. Well, what are the questions they will ask?